due to a pending investigation of corruption. I was served a letter by General Sonona, and I was moved. I've still heard nothing.
Can we go to that letter on page 475, Commissioners, of that same bundle? 475 of exhibit bundle, the same.
Yes, this is it.
Okay. We obtained this. It's a photograph of the actual letter, but I think you have come today with the actual letter.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay, we'll just wait for the Commissioner.
Sorry, we missed what you just said.
We obtained a photograph of the letter, but the warrant officer came with the actual letter, so you'll see the quality is not that great. So, warrant officer, it is a notice of temporary placement. Can you read to us what it says? Please take your time. You can start from paragraph 1.
A complaint was received on allegations of serious corruption against the above-mentioned member, who is attached to the SANEP team at Durban Serious Organised Crime Investigation. Paragraph 2. It has been decided that Warrant Officer K.R. Sander be placed at the Provincial Support Services as from 2024-02-13 until further notice, pending the outcome of the investigation. 3. Kindly inform the member accordingly. It is signed by General Sonona, dated 2024-02-13.
Now, were you ever informed of what the serious allegations of corruption were?
Yes.
Were you informed officially in writing?
No.
Okay, how were you informed?
Verbatim in a meeting, it was myself. If I recall, it was myself, Colonel Jacob, Colonel Sabia, Brigadier Newswa, and the General Sonona.
And what were you informed about?
I was told that an email had been sent to the National Head Office that I was accused of supplying or facilitating the supply of narcotics to the Florida Road nightclub syndicates.
And did you ever get an outcome of what the investigation?
No, Commissioner.
Formally, no.
No, Commissioner.
Unofficially?
Yes, Commissioner.
Unofficially, you were informed of the outcome?
No, Commissioner.
Okay.
Unofficially, I found out that the inquiry was closed. I think it was in 4 days or 5 days. The inquiry was given to members from Port Sheps and DPCI. It was allocated to them. Unofficially, I found that that inquiry was closed within 4 days. It was filed negative.
When you say within 4 days, do you mean 4 days from 13 February 2024?
No, Commissioner. From the time that it was opened to the time that it was closed.
Yes.
The time of me being placed and the time of the inquiry are different.
Okay, all right. And besides this letter at page 475, did you ever receive any communication, anything in writing, either from General Sonona or the provincial commander? Did you ever get anything
Besides
in writing?
this?
Besides the letter at page 475?
There is other letters that came. Commissioner, as a result of this, I was sitting now in an environment where they say I am not in active duty.
No, I'm talking letters that relate to what appears to have been a disciplinary process that was intended.
Nothing.
Letters relating to that.
Nothing.
So this is the only letter you received?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. And till today, you don't know officially what the outcome of the investigation is?
That is correct, Commissioner. And even before this, I even said to Colonel Jacob, I said, all I want is my name cleared. Give me the letter, clear my name.
And how did you get to hear that the inquiry was closed within 4 days of its commencement? How did you get to hear about that?
I asked someone to check the inquiry number on CAS.
And they came back saying that it was closed.
Closed.
And you yourself never saw anything showing that it was indeed closed?
No, Commissioner.
And were you ever placed on suspension?
No, Commissioner.
You were then moved from support services at some point.
Maybe before you move on, at the time, who did you report to? Who was your immediate superior?
I fell under Captain van Niekerk. There is a colonel, and then Colonel Zikali, and then Brigadier Mulligan, and then obviously it's the two seniors, which is Brigadier Nuswa and General Sonona. We're all on the same office.
So of the people that were in the room with you when you were told about this email that has come to head
yes.
office, was any one of them your immediate superior, one of the people that
All
you
of them.
report to?
My immediate superior was Colonel Jacob.
At the time?
Yes,
Okay, and he was in the room?
yes.
Okay. Did you ever get to see the email complaint against
Never.
you? Okay. And when you find out that the investigation or the inquiry is closed, did your immediate superior speak to you about it ever?
No.
Nothing? And it continued to be, at the time that you find that it is closed, your superior continued to be Colonel Jacob?
So technically, yes, because my post never changed on the system. I'm actually gone back to my very same office at my old office. So my post was still there. I plugged my computer in, I log in. I still have the same title. But when you work at another office, we have obviously a job description in JD. So I had two PEPs, one for support services and one for DPCR, Serious Organized Crime SANEP. So I had two jobs that were running.
Thank you.
And whilst at support services, what was your experience in the working environment?
For me, it was prison. The people I work with, amazing. I'll say that over and over again. Incredible humans. I learned a lot, but there was a post that I applied for. During the post, they do a financial vetting, and it came up that I was a director of a shooting club. I'm not going to mention the name if that's fine. It's part of all of my police members. I'm the vice chairman of the police shooting club. Half of the KZN shooting club, we're all members of the same club as well. We preserve the bank account to stop people changing the name or committing fraud. By doing so, our treasurer registered a company, but it's a non-profit company. I was charged for running a business without telling the police that I had an interest in a business. The outcome of that was a verbal warning by Colonel Jacob.
But this was after the allegations of corruption and you were moved to support services?
It is after, but it's during as well, Commissioner.
Yes. And that was also in 2024?
Correct, Commissioner.
Okay. And your engagements with General Sonona while at support services, how were those engagements?
I don't engage with General Sonona, Commissioner.
And you say that other than General Sonona, there was also Brigadier Nuswa. Was he also at that same office where you were?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay. When you then move from support services, you go with...
Commissioner, I was called to Brigadier Nuswa's office. He was told I'm going back to my old office, but I was being moved. I wasn't allowed to work narcotics. And Commissioner.
Continue.
But prior to this, they wanted to stop all my scarce skills. And this had resulted in me getting legal counsel, drafting long statements, and we served a notice on then it was Colonel Jama. Colonel Jama was acting on behalf of General Sonona. She served a notice to suspend all my salaries and my incomes, and I challenged it. To that, I never received a response, but I did get the verbal response of Brigadier Nuswa telling me that I'm going back to operational space. But I was told I was not allowed to work narcotics.
Just explain, you say your scarce skills were stopped. What are we talking about when you say scarce skills were stopped?
Commissioner, in the DPCI environment and the organized crime environment, FSL, task force and stuff like that, certain skills, you get a financial remuneration. For the commissioner, I get 1,000 rand. That's my scarce skill.
An allowance,
1,000
scarce
rand.
skills allowance.
It means a lot to me, though.
Yes.
It's 1,000 rand. I've been receiving it since its inception, and I'll work for it. It's mine. I was then told, but now remember, on top of that now, there's no more danger allowance. So I lose my danger allowance, my operational allowance. So financially, it's a huge knockdown now to be sitting in an office. I have the court papers here, if the commission wants it. When I say court papers, my legal bundle, which I served on Colonel Jama. They moved me. There's still no answer. And I said, you move me. How can you take my money away when nothing has happened? And then I was moved back to my working space.
That was then the scarce skills allowance restored?
It was
when you
never
were
touched.
When you were returned to?
They never touched it, Commissioner. It's maybe the correct wording is, it was a notification to suspend your allowance.
And it was never suspended?
They never touched it.
Okay,
I still receive it as we speak, Commissioner.
okay.
So you were moved to support services in February of 2024, and when do you then move out of support services?
2025-08 in August.
And that's when you were moved to the
Economic protected resources.
and what do you do there?
I'm busy with human trafficking investigations. I'm busy with quite a few investigations into non-ferrous syndicates, fuel pipelines, infrastructure damage. I've got a wildlife one at the moment with people poaching out at sea. It's quite interesting.
You had mentioned earlier that when they moved you verbally, they said that you would not go back to narcotics.
Correct?
Were you given a reason as to why not?
No.
Why do you think you were moved in February 2023?
Am I allowed to say? I think I was standing on their toes.
Can you just elaborate on that?
Maybe being too successful, too many good recoveries, understanding how the syndicate works, understanding who the different role players in the environment were.
But shouldn't everybody within the force be happy about that?
We should be promoted to actually make that bigger and go further.
I guess what I'm trying to establish is why something that has all the hallmarks of a disciplinary process should be instituted against you when, as you say, you were quite successful. Should those that purported to institute this disciplinary process not actually have appreciated what you were doing? I guess that's another way of trying to get an answer to Ms. Seegers-Ncube's question.
Commissioner, it's very difficult for me sitting here because, as I say, I don't have a statement or anything like that, and now we're talking of a different subject. And it has affected where I am. And Commissioner's question is so valid, I could answer it for days. I'll give a Commissioner an example. the police has excellence awards. But you, as a policeman, to get the excellence award, have to motivate yourself to get the award. It's not your commander who says, well done, warrant officer, you did this, I'm going to put a letter in for you. It's the other way around. I must write my own story and hand it in to get the award. So management is getting the accolades, they get their pep, they get their accolades as commanders. But you, as the members that do the work, do not get the recognition the other way around. It's confusing, but that's how it works. So in answering your question, Commissioner, is the teams that work with me, I never work alone. The teams that work with me, they don't get recognition. Myself, there's no recognition. Maybe if you can go to my personal file and find a letter of recognition, I'll be happy because I haven't seen one.
Yes. You were asked the question, why do you think you were moved? And you say, I think I must have been stepping on their toes. I'm not asking you the they to name the they that you refer to there. But here's the question. Did you have reason in these operations that you were doing, taken together? Did you get to a point where you had reason to suspect that some of your colleagues, whoever they are, may be involved or have an interest in these operations? I'm not asking you to mention names, but to understand what your answer means.
Thank you, Commissioner. Prior to me being moved, this investigation of the corruption, myself and my immediate commander were not seeing eye to eye due to, let's just say, there was allegations of theft of exhibits going missing, dockets going missing. I filed a complaint like that.
About that,
Yes, Commissioner.
yes.
And I don't think management took like to that. From the DPCI to organized crime at the provincial head office. So it would have been to the 14th floor under, it would have been under General Sabia, or sorry, Brigadier Sabia. The same working environment. If you ask how to challenge a system as a junior, you learn quickly that you can't. I applied to go as an investigator at Durban Central. That application, I cannot tell you how, which magic spell was cast, was changed to Durban Central Charge Office. And the transfer was approved, not to, so remember the question's been asked now, do you have scarce skills? Yes. Are you an investigator? Yes. At that time, there was a policy in place to retain detectives, people with scarce skills. So that is why in my application for a transfer, I asked to go to an investigative field. But the transfer was changed to go to the Durban Central Charge Office with a post number. When that came to our head office HR, they said, are you aware of this? And I said, oh, your transfer is approved. And I said, okay, I'm very happy, thank you very much. And I said, it's a Durban Central Charge Office. When I went to the HR at our provincial office, I was told, rather just go sit in your office, drink your coffee. You are now fighting big people, leave it. And I took that advice. You comply. But I cancelled my transfer. And I stayed at SCM until where I am to today.
This complaint that you say you filed about missing dockets and exhibits, you would have, I assume it's a complaint in writing.
Yes, Commissioner.
When is this in terms of time? Which year are we talking about?
It's prior to this happening, Commissioner.
prior to you being moved
Yes,
out
Commissioner.
of this? And who do you submit that kind of complaint to?
I recall the original email went to, it was then Captain, I can't recall if it was a captain or lieutenant, KG Sabia, but it was for the attention of then Lieutenant Colonel Gopalsamy, and then following the ranking trail going up.
Yes. And that complaint, what kind of detail does it have? Do you list incidents specific, case numbers, exhibits, and
It's very specific,
it's
Commissioner.
that specific? Okay. All right, thank you.
Chair, I just wanted to find out when are we taking the tea adjournment, if at all?